Okay, so are you ready to dive into Colleen Hoover's It Starts With Us?
Oh, I'm ready. Especially since we're tackling second chances, messy pasts, and the kind of love that stays with you.
And Hoover doesn't hold back. We meet Atlas, right? And he's dealing with vandalism at his restaurant. But it's not just any vandalism, is it?
No, not at all. It feels targeted, personal. Almost like the vandal knows Atlas well enough to know how to get under his skin.
Yeah, like those misspelled insults on the restaurant window. It's like, who even does that?
Right. It's juvenile, but also kind of suggests a strange intimacy, don't you think?
Totally. And as if that wasn't enough drama for one day, Atlas bumps into Lily.
His first love. And they haven't seen each other for how long? Like a year and a half. Talk about a recipe for disaster.
Seriously. The past, their history, all those unsaid things, and you can cut the tension with a knife.
Lily's hesitant, though, which is understandable. She's just divorced, a single mom. She's carrying a lot right now.
And Atlas is trying, but he's not exactly smooth. Like that Finding Nemo quote when he sees her. Oof.
Yeah, a little awkward, right? You'd think a chef, someone who understands timing and presentation, would have a better approach.
Exactly. It's sweet, but also kind of tone-deaf to what Lily's going through.
Absolutely. And Lily picks up on that. She's guarded.
Which is where Hoover's brilliance comes in. She shifts our perspective to Lily's, taking us back to her teenage years through her diary entries.
And what an eye-opener that is.
We see her teenage crush on Atlas, how she felt back then. So pure, so innocent.
But then, the diary takes a darker turn as she starts writing about Ryle, her ex-husband. Let me tell you, it's intense.
Heartbreaking, really. You see this bright young woman slowly being controlled, manipulated. Those diary entries about Ryle's possessiveness, that incident on the stairs. Chilling.
Abuse, plain and simple. It's tough to read, but so important that Hoover shows this reality.
And the whole time, even back then, there's Atlas trying to be a good guy. Remember that entry about him fixing Lily's mom's door?
Such a small gesture, but so significant.
Right. Especially when you contrast it with the fear she feels with Ryle. It makes you wonder if seeing Lily in those situations, even back then, fueled Atlas's need to protect her.
Interesting, right. And what about the vandalism? Is there a connection to Atlas's past, his own family issues? I have a feeling we're just getting started.
It's like you think you're starting to understand these characters, and then Hoover throws in this whole other layer of family secrets.
It's true.
Yeah.
And it makes you realize how much we don't know about the people around us.
Right. Like with Atlas, he gets this phone call out of nowhere, and bam, he finds out he has a half-brother. Josh. Can you imagine? To suddenly discover you have a sibling you never knew existed?
It makes you question everything, like your whole family history, your own place in the world.
And then, to top it off, he finds out Josh is the one who vandalized his restaurant. Talk about a plot twist.
It's almost like a twisted cry for attention, isn't it?
Definitely. Josh has grown up feeling abandoned, not knowing about Atlas. And Atlas, instead of being angry...
He sees a reflection of himself.
Exactly. They've both been failed by their father in different ways. That scene where Atlas confronts his mother. Intense.
He's setting boundaries, finally standing up for himself. And speaking of boundaries, how about Lily trying to navigate this rekindled thing with Atlas while dealing with Ryle?
Oh, Ryle. He's something else, isn't he? Charming on the surface, but underneath, there's this need to control Lily that's kind of terrifying.
It's like he can't let go. Even though they're divorced, he still acts like she belongs to him.
And she's walking on eggshells, trying not to set him off. But then there's this other layer, right? Josh tries to contact their father, Tim.
Talk about a blast from the past. Makes you wonder about the pull of biological parents, even when they've messed up.
Totally. Is it nature, nurture, this hope that maybe they'll change, finally be the parent you need?
It's a tough one. And Atlas, even with his own baggage with his dad, doesn't try to stop Josh from reaching out.
He gets it, right? That need for connection, even if it's complicated. I think it shows how much empathy Atlas has, which makes his character that much more compelling. What do you think?
It's crazy, right? You've got Atlas and Lily both dealing with their own baggage from the past.
It's like they're two sides of the same coin in a way.
Totally. They understand each other's pain, their struggles.
And that shared understanding becomes this really powerful connection between them.
You can really feel it, too, the way they open up to each other, let their guards down.
It's not always pretty, though. I mean, they stumble, they fall back into old patterns.
Like with Lily and Ryle, he just can't seem to let go, can he? That scene with the tattoo where he pins her against the door.
Ugh, I know. My heart was racing during that part. Talk about a controlling, scary dude.
It's like all those moments from her diary, all that fear are coming back. It just shows how deep those wounds from abuse can run.
And you see Atlas wanting to protect her, but also respecting her need to handle it her own way.
Exactly. He's there for her, but he's not trying to take over.
Which I think is huge. It's like he's showing her what a healthy relationship can look like.
And she needs to see that. It's like she's finally starting to realize she deserves better.
And then when she, Alyssa, and Marshall confront Ryle...
It's about time. They're like, enough is enough. That's the kind of friend group everyone needs.
Seriously. It's a turning point for Lily, too. She finds her voice, stands up for herself.
And for Emerson. She's not letting her son grow up thinking that's normal behavior.
So important. It's like she's breaking the cycle. And Atlas, he's there every step of the way supporting her.
It's what she needs. Someone who believes in her, who loves her, without needing to control her.
It makes you wonder, though, can you ever really outrun your past?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Maybe it's not about outrunning it, but about learning from it.
And realizing that you always have a choice to create a different future, to find happiness.
Exactly. It starts with us as like this raw, emotional roller coaster, but ultimately it leaves you with this sense of hope. Hope for healing, for second chances, and finding the kind of love that makes you stronger.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So tell us what you think. Can love truly conquer all? Have you had a second chance romance? Hit us up on social media and let us know. Until next time.